Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful idea for organizing, well, pretty much any complex work. It's called modularization. And, it's one of those concepts that explains why some things are just built to last, while others, well, they just fall apart. It's a tool that can help us build better, smarter, and way more resilient systems.
I mean, have you ever wondered about this? Why is it that some projects, some companies, they just seem to crumble under the slightest pressure, while others can adapt, change, and even thrive when things get chaotic? What is their secret?
Believe it or not, the answer is actually pretty simple. It's all about the pieces. The way a system is put together, its fundamental architecture. That's the real difference between something that's fragile and something that is truly built to last.
So to see why, let's start by looking at the way things are usually done. This brings us right into Section 1, the one-piece problem. The core idea here is simple but deadly. When everything is one big, tangled-up mess, one tiny failure can bring the whole system crashing down. And you can see the difference right here. On one side, you've got that monolithic design. It's rigid, it's fragile, trying to update it is a nightmare, and any little change feels super high risk. But then you look at the other side, the modular approach. It's flexible, it's resilient, it's easy to upgrade. You can mix and match parts with almost no risk. It's just a fundamentally better way to build anything. Okay, so if the one-piece approach is the problem, what's the solution? Well, that brings us to Section 2, thinking in building blocks. It's a simple mental shift, but honestly, it changes everything. First, let's get our terms straight. A module is the core, foundational piece of a system. Think of it like the engine in a car. It's the big, central unit that everything else is organized around to make it run well. But what are these modules actually made of?
Well, modules are made from what we call building blocks. These are the absolute most basic, elemental units you can work with. So, if the module is the car engine, the building blocks are the raw materials, the actual nuts, bolts, and pistons that create the foundation for any job.
And if we zoom in one more level, a module contains components. Now, these are distinct parts that you can manage all on their own. In our car engine, a component might be a spark plug or a fuel injector. You can analyze it, you can fix it, you can upgrade just that one component without having to rebuild the entire engine. And that is the key to all this flexibility. The best way to visualize all of this is with the Lego analogy. It's perfect. You're not starting with one giant piece of clay. No, you're building something complex from simple, standardized blocks that can be combined in like a million different ways. It's all about flexibility, creativity, and being able to reuse your work.
Okay, so we get the what. Now let's talk about the how. This is Section 3, the rules of the game. This is where we look at how you actually work with modules. And it all boils down to a pretty simple three-step method. First, deconstruction. You take your complex thing and you break it down into its core modules. Simple enough. Second, assembly. You put those separate modules together so they actually work as a system. And third, exchange. And this is where the magic happens. You can swap, substitute, or reconfigure parts without breaking the whole thing. Now, this whole method works because of a few key principles. You've got interchangeable parts, so you can swap things easily. Reusability, so one module can solve a bunch of different problems. And process segmentation, which just lets you break big workflows into smaller, clearer chunks. And then there's this really fascinating concept called Holons. Think of a single cell in your body. It's a complete, independent unit, right? But it's also perfectly integrated into the larger system of, well, you. That's a Holon, a part that is also a whole. So why go through all this trouble? What's the real payoff? That brings us to Section 4, the power of modularity, where we get into why this is such a powerful way to think. The strategic payoff is huge. This isn't just some neat little design trick. It delivers real tangible results in 4 key areas: optimization, quality, reusability, and flexibility, which our source material calls yield. Put them together, and you get a vastly superior system. So let's quickly break those down. Optimization lets you easily spot bottlenecks and just get rid of redundant work. Quality goes way up because you can standardize your parts for consistent, reliable results every time. Reusability makes you way more efficient and it slashes design costs. And finally, yield or flexibility gives you the agility to respond to change and to scale up or down whenever you need to. So, all of this leads to our final section, building for the future. Because when you zoom out, you see that modularity isn't just a tactic. It's an entire framework for success in our really complex world.
As the source material puts it so well, modularization is the bridge between the design phase, the execution phase, and managing everything adaptively. It gives you a complete framework for an architecture that's efficient, flexible, and truly sustainable.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I'll leave you with a question to mull over. Just look around at your own work, your projects, maybe even your daily routines. What in your world is just one big monolithic piece, waiting to be broken down, thoughtfully rebuilt, and made so much better through modularization?